Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Thato. If you're new to my channel, I make videos here on YouTube on motherhood and a little bit of lifestyle and everything in between. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell right next to it so that you're notified every single time I have a new video up. In today's video, I'm very excited because for the first time in my video, I have a guest who is not my partner or Maru, my son. So I'm very excited, and she is wearing her pregnancy, as you can see, ever so beautifully. You know, I envy her so much because hey, by the time I was ready to pop, the way I looked, I would have never been on camera. Before I get into anything else or any further, let me just let you introduce yourself to my beautiful subscribers.
Hi guys, my name is Maru and I'm a child birth educator, prenatal fitness instructor as well as a prenatal yoga instructor. And above all those things, I'm also a mummy.
This is baby number 2.
Yes, baby number 2.
How do you explain to a toddler who understanding is not so great that there is a new baby, or like there's something going on with mommy? Like, how do you explain all of that?
I think from just us sitting her down and talking to her and making her understand that she's gonna have a little person in the house, made her happy that at least we're involving her.
Exactly.
Someone that is doing,
and then she'll have like somebody to play with.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to see how she deals with like a new little human after
oh my
being the only
goodness,
one
she's
for
so
a while.
excited.
All right, so let's talk about this pregnancy. How did you find out you were pregnant? When did you find out you were pregnant? And what were the earliest signs that you got?
For me, there were no signs at all of the pregnancy, nothing.
Like from the very beginning,
from the very beginning,
you haven't had like any kind of sign.
No sign at all.
Even during like your first trimester.
Nothing. No morning sickness.
Gosh.
No dizzy spells. Nothing. Like I just felt
like I hate you right now.
I just felt like myself.
This is not fair. I really hope. Was this the same thing for your first pregnancy as well?
It was as well. Yeah. It was.
That means I'm gonna have the same experience for my second one. Oh my gosh, like that is so cool that you just didn't experience anything. Because I got signs like very early on. Like even your boobs didn't like swell up or anything.
Because normally I have like really small boobs. I didn't really feel much of a difference, no.
Really?
Nothing.
That is so crazy. What about going into like the second trimester and like everything? Like didn't you start feeling things?
With the second trimester, the only thing that I'd say I felt a bit was the cravings. I was starting to crave like a lot of sweet stuff, a lot of ice cream. So that's the only thing that I'd say was more centered around the pregnancy. And then I remember at some point I'd always feel so bloated and tired. But then that went away like after a week or so. So I never really got to...
This is so unreal because this is like the complete opposite of my experience. Like I found out the moment that I knew that something was going on in my body was when my boobs, that's the first sign that I got. It's when my boobs started swelling. And usually my boobs react like that when I get into my period, like just moments before my period. But it was very different. Also, you know, at the back of your head, you just know that one time, I'm sure something is happening in my body. So I was just like very aware and on the lookout for funny little things. I felt like immediately I took the test and it said pregnant. All hell broke loose with my body. Like I started feeling everything. I was so tired. Like I was tired all the time. I was nauseous all day. It was not morning sickness. It was all day sickness. I was vomiting. I was so sick.
The first trimester.
The first trimester, and a good part of the second as well. I think 2 or 3 weeks into my second trimester, I was still feeling a little bit nauseous and all that stuff. And then I started feeling better during my second trimester. I felt a little bit better, but then during the last days of my final trimester, then I started feeling a little bit sick as well. I mean, it was the worst. So I don't understand how you are having just this breeze of a pregnancy. I just don't get it. It's okay. When I was pregnant, like my biggest thing was that I actually had hopes in my head that I would be quite the fit pregnancy girl. I would go to the gym and eat healthy, but everything went sideways. Like immediately when my first trimester started kicking in and I'm feeling so bad, then I just abandoned the whole plan of feeling. So that's what I'm determined that in my next pregnancy, I'm going to work out, I'm going to eat healthy. I'm just going to try to maybe make my experience a lot better with that.
Yeah.
So have you been like working out and doing like the most in terms of like fitness and health and all that?
I have, fitness wise, I have, but I slowed down a bit. All I do now is prenatal yoga. So I'm just centered
doing way more than a lot of us.
I'm just centered around that, and in terms of my diet, it really didn't change much, but I do give in to my cravings. That I must admit, a lot actually. So other than that, I think for me my diet hasn't really changed much. The one thing that I've cut down, I love seafood. I love seafood. Okay, so that
how
is something.
do you stomach seafood? I do not get anyone that just says I love seafood. I can get somebody saying, oh, I'm curious, I can try it out, but
I'm crazy about seafood.
Oh my god.
So that is something that I had to let go completely.
Yeah, I've heard
so that's something that I haven't been touching. It hurts a bit, to see people eating, but I know it's for the best. And I've also cut down on meat for some reason. I don't know. I've just cut down on meat. I don't take meat as much as I used to. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I guess it also depends on how it's cooked. Yeah, because there are days when I so miss fried meat, but I can't touch it. I can't touch it
because you're not sure how they cook.
So other than that, I think my diet has just been the same. I'm still doing what I've always been doing. But I try not to eat for two. I try not to eat for two. I just eat. I nibble on whatever it is, but I try not to fill up and eat for two.
So that's kind of like what is helping maintain like the weight. Have you like gained like a lot of weight, or like how's the weight gain?
It's terrible.
It's terrible. But you look so good. Okay, maybe
so much.
I only met you when you are pregnant, so I don't know how you look like normally. So I wouldn't know really.
I have gained weight. However, I've told myself it's not my weight. Because it's the baby's weight and everything else. So that's how I try to keep calm. I've gained weight, but it's not my weight.
But it's fine. Like weight is just part of the journey. As long as it's healthy weight. And it's not way over what you're supposed to be gaining and way low. Anyway, so you're pregnant in a whole pandemic. How has it been? Because I literally, my heart literally always pours out to anybody who's going through pregnancy during this time, because it's just the being like terrified of like catching, the virus. At the same time, you are carrying a life and you just have to navigate this new normal while you're pregnant. It's just like, it's crazy. So how has it been, and how is it different from your first pregnancy when it wasn't a pandemic then?
It was, this time around, I'm more cautious about going out, obviously being around people and stuff like that. So you'd find that most of the time I'm home, just being home. Unlike the first one. The first one, of course, things were different. We were out there, it was fun. It was more fun. It was more interactive. I could hang out with my friends, but this time around, it's like just the family. So, but other than that, I don't think much it's really different. However, I think I'm one of the luckiest people because even during my doctor's appointments, my ultrasound appointments, my hubby comes along and he's part of it.
So what are the rules exactly? Like, what are you not supposed? What's different like with the rules in the hospital visits and all that stuff with before and now? Okay,
so here's the thing. This one I haven't experienced it myself, but some of my clients have come forward and said that their partners are not allowed to be in the room with them when they're doing like doctor consultations or ultrasounds.
Yeah, I think I've seen that also with a bunch of moms on YouTube.
Yeah, so I got to experience that. My hubby was there the whole time, thank God. But I recently found out that he won't be in the delivery room.
You recently found this out?
I recently found this out.
Oh my God.
It came as a shock because, you know, I people always talk about how their partners are not allowed in the room, and I just thought maybe just one support person will be able to come in, but now I'm told nobody is allowed at all. So that's a bummer.
It's such a bummer.
Yeah.
So what about like support with like family and friends? It like, does it change like while it's a pandemic? Because like when like the support is happening, like when you're just, there's no pandemic, people come in and out, bringing gift baskets and, you know, and all that stuff. And like a baby shower, like did you even have a baby shower?
No.
Like what's the deal with everything?
The deal? Honestly, I think because everyone else is also worried about the whole pandemic, they're also trying to be considerate and not always be in my space and all that. So yes, they do call in, they do check in, but other than that, I'm like on my own. You know, I work in a clinic, so the whole time, there was a time that I was going to work, and this whole pandemic thing was like really disturbing. So you'd have clients walk in all the time and you'd be worried about your own well-being. Like, should I really even be here?
Because you're pregnant.
Yeah,
you know?
should I be here or so it's just something that I think we just need to learn to live with and just take care of ourselves.
Oh my gosh, I cannot imagine. I mean, pregnancy on its own is just a journey. And having to do it during a time like this, I cannot imagine.
It's scary, hey?
It's very scary. Childbirth, like, what are you doing to get ready for that?
Okay, so here's the thing. I think I was around 30 weeks. That's when I started working on my plan on the whole labor delivery, when the baby gets here, what needs to be done, what is done. So I started working on my birth plan around then. And from there,
birth plan.
So I worked on my birth plan first. So that's where it all started, in preparing for the baby to come.
For somebody who has no idea what a birth plan is and how it will help during that time, because you know, the truth is, like, you can plan something and then things can go differently and stuff. So people are like, what's the point of me having a birth plan when when birth can be so spontaneous, and it can be like, you know, a lot of things can happen that didn't go like that you didn't plan. And so why is it necessary for you to even make a birth plan?
First, let me just brush through on what is a birth plan. It's just a guide. It's not an actual thing that will happen when you're at the hospital, but it's just something that you use as a guide on what you'd like to see happening or what kind of delivery you like to have, right? So now with the birth plan, it's something that you need to talk with your doctor about. Okay, it's something that you need to sit down and plan with your doctor. Ask questions. So a birth plan is important in that sense that you get to learn more about your journey. You get to learn about your choices, your options, what options you have during the delivery. It's not just going in and pushing the baby out. There are processes that are involved, and you need to be aware of what those are and how safe are you during labor and what you can do to prevent certain things. And
all your pain options, pain relief options, and all that stuff. I did a video actually God knows when ago, where I was talking about the couple of things that you can do to prepare for childbirth and stuff like that. And I talk a little bit about the birth plan myself, because I did have a birth plan as well. But some mamas reached out to me and told me that it's not easy to have something like that, and they were asking for tips when you are going the government hospital route, like when you don't have a consistent doctor that you're seeing every month, or clinicing and all that stuff. So do you have any tips for that, mom?
Oh wow. Yes. On that one, I would advise you to still learn more about your pregnancy. Learn more about your delivery, your options, what is going to be happening. Familiarize yourself with the hospital that you're going to deliver at. If necessary, go there, ask questions about what will happen when you're in labor, who's allowed to be there with you in the delivery room, because some hospitals, even before the pandemic, they didn't allow any partners inside.
I've heard like the government hospitals, they don't allow anybody else at all.
Yeah, some of them.
There are ones that can.
Yeah.
But I've found that if you are assertive enough and you know your stuff enough, this is before a pandemic, by the way.
Yeah.
Like if you talk to people properly and they can pull some strings and make things happen to have somebody in the delivery room. So don't be afraid to ask, even though the rules are this and that and you've heard this and that. Just ask and just be like, can I have somebody there? This person really likes to be there, they're open and whatnot.
Because that's actually true, because sometimes maybe people don't ask. That's why nobody's making an effort to bring anybody to the delivery room.
Exactly.
So asking might just help.
It might just help. Even during the appointments, or your monthly, I don't know how it works, checkups at the clinic. I think it's also a good time to ask. I think sometimes go to clinic, we just get in there and get out, and we don't really think that it's a great time because to talk to your midwives or your whoever will be attending to you on that day. It's good to ask questions. What happens when this happens or that happens? And all that fun stuff. So you can just prepare a birth plan for you. You can communicate it even during your stages of labor.
And I always say it's always best to be a bother to your doctor. It's always best to ask a lot of questions and be the patient that is always asking questions than just being that one that just walks in and out without really knowing or getting answers on what you're worried about.
It's always better. I was the worst type of patient because I asked way too many questions, and I was the typical nervous new mom, new pregnancy mom person. So although my doctor was very, very understanding, I could see him sometimes just kind of rolling his eyes and just being like, oh my god, Thato, like you're gonna be fine, like calm down. But it's good, like just ask as many questions. I always advocate for this. Just ask the doctor is your best friend at this time, and don't be afraid to call them. Like call them.
If you feel something is wrong, call them.
I was nervous at calling my doctor's personal number, even though he gave it to me. I was just always just like, I just don't want to be a bother and whatnot, but call them, guys. When I was pregnant, I wanted to get an epidural. Like I was not having pain going on, but then towards the end of my pregnancy, I kind of changed my mind, which was weird because I was just so determined for so long. But then I kind of changed my mind. And also during my pregnancy, when I was talking to people, they were like, no, you want to feel it. It's your first baby. You want to go through it and whatnot. And I was like, I don't care the experiences. Thank you very much. I don't need that kind of pain in my life. Whatever. But then towards the end, like I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try this out and see what happens. Like,
and how was it?
How was it? It was, you know what? It wasn't as bad as I had made it out to be in my head. I would say that it wasn't that bad because it happened very quickly. I was very lucky that everything happened really, really quickly. The pain happened for a short span and the baby was born very, very quickly. I didn't labor for too long. I was in labor for like an hour and the baby was born the next hour. Like I didn't labor for too long. So that's what made it easy. But I can imagine going through a long labor, because I hear a lot of moms saying I was labor for 12 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours, all that, and the baby just couldn't come. I just kept on having contractions and contractions and nothing. So I can imagine the pain where that can be. So I think I was lucky in the sense that it didn't happen for too long. How was your labor, the first labor?
Is it safe to say I don't remember that much?
You don't remember?
It was so quick.
It was quick as well.
It was so quick to a point where I couldn't grasp what was happening around me because it was so quick. To a point where after, I told my friend, I think if God willing, I'd just like to experience it all over again. Because I feel like...
You didn't have like any kind of pain relief?
No, nothing. Because at that point, it was my first child, remember?
Yeah.
So people like giving their own opinions about how labor was for them, how painful and horrible it is.
Oh, I know that.
So when I got in, I think I got in a bit with that mentality that it's going to be painful.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't as bad.
It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad.
No.
Not that it's not gonna be bad for you. I'm just saying, like.
But I'm a big advocate for natural birth.
Yeah.
So I'm not big on medication or anything of that sort.
Baby's crying. Anyway, yeah. Oh wait, what are we talking about? I forgot.
Labor.
Yes, you're a big
Yes.
advocate for natural.
For natural labor.
Unless obviously, like, there's no
Yes.
other, like, that's
No
not the
other
only
option.
Yeah. Yeah, no, naturally, I think I also want, like, I'm a big advocate for natural labor, but I'm not judgy when you choose to go
the
the
other
other
way.
different routes.
Yeah.
But I am a big advocate for doing it naturally because it's safer and
Yeah.
it's quicker to heal. And yeah, it's just better, I think.
It is.
Not that there's a problem if you did it.
Birth is birth.
Birth is birth. Yeah, birth is
Yeah.
birth. At the end of the day, you have a beautiful child. Everything's set for the day the baby comes.
Yes, I'm just waiting for the baby.
So you've chosen the hospital and everything.
I have, and a lot of work went into me finding the right hospital.
Yeah.
The right hospital in the sense that a hospital that will cater to my needs or what I want.
Yeah.
So I went through the whole hospitals.
Yeah.
Yes, I was very, very, very fortunate still because I was allowed to tour like the maternity wards and just check them out and appreciate them.
Wait, so like in this pandemic, they don't allow that?
No.
Oh my word.
Like nobody's allowed in that area. So I was very fortunate that they gave me a chance to just look around and
Yeah.
appreciate it. So from then on, I just sat down and I compared the hospitals and I just picked the one that worked best for me.
So what exactly were you looking for? Like, what are the specific things that you were looking for when you were touring for a hospital?
Okay, the first thing, remember you're in labor.
Yeah.
Comfort is everything, right? So I was looking for something that is comfortable, private, and where I can just relax and let loose. So that's what I was looking for, basically. Yeah, and also I was looking for a hospital that would be more open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some hospitals will tell you we don't allow music or we don't allow this or that.
Just like a ball or
Yes,
something.
yes.
Yeah.
So I had to find a hospital that will cater to my needs in that sense, you
Yeah.
know. So,
I remember when I was looking for a hospital as well, the space was a big thing for me. I wanted like room to move around.
Yeah.
Because just in case, you know, my labor
Yeah.
takes its sweet time.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to move around and maybe bounce around in my birth ball and, you know, just a place where also baby daddy could sleep and just be comfortable, and all that stuff. And yes, privacy is a big thing for when you're picking a hospital and everything like that, if you have the luxury to be able to do that. But I can't imagine not having the opportunity to tour a hospital, man. Like, I was able to tour and ask questions and just be like, what are we gonna do? What if this happens? Where does this go? And all that stuff. So when I went in, I knew exactly where I was going, which part I was parking.
you knew what was happening.
I just knew all the things that I needed to do, just in case I walked in there just ready to drop this baby. I needed to know where I was going. So it sucks that now that people don't have that opportunity.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, preparing for baby. Are you ready? Is all the things, all the diapers and the nursery and all the things?
We are packed. We are ready.
You're ready.
We
so
are
baby
so
can just
ready.
drop right now, and like you are just so ready.
Yeah.
So man, so what are you doing differently now? Like, have you thought of things that you're gonna be doing differently for this baby?
Oh my god.
Like how? Like what is different now? Are you?
Okay, now I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Definitely. So I'm more excited about that part, about knowing what I'm doing, being the hands-on mom that I've always wanted to be, you know, even from the experience, things that I want to try differently this time around.
Yeah.
So I'm also excited to try, like I said, different techniques. Yeah.
That's nice. I feel like I have a lot of
Yeah.
things that I'm just like, you know what, my next one.
This is what I'm
different.
trying.
I'm gonna be doing this and that and that. Anyway, yeah, you were saying?
No, I was just gonna say, in relation to my labor, the one that I'm planning now. I've been really hesitant about trying because I'm a childbirth educator, right?
Yeah.
So I keep asking myself, should I really be teaching myself on how to go through these things all over again? Or because I'll be alone in the room.
Yeah.
It sucks.
That's what, like, I would be like crazy because it was a big thing for me to have my partner there. I was like, I'm not going to any hospital that is not allowing him to be there because, so I can imagine just the anxiety that must bring, because the first time was he there?
He was there the first time.
So this is going to be an experience. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that I'm literally praying that 90, if not 100% of all your plans of how you want your birth to be, goes exactly that. So anyway, let's wrap it up. It's time to wrap it up, guys. I else would be here all day. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
I hope that we can get to do this again another time.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Remember, if you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe and join our little YouTube family. Thank you and bye-bye.